What if I told you that a notorious serial killer and your office's celebrated star employee might actually share one terrifying psychological trait? Crazy, right? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the intricate maze of human behavior to uncover a reality that is going to permanently change how you view your coworkers.
Look, for decades, Hollywood has totally brainwashed us. They've trained us to believe psychopaths are always these violent criminals lurking in the shadows, probably wearing a hockey mask. But the actual science of human behavior, it reveals a truth that is much darker and frankly, way closer to home. The real predator might literally be sitting at the desk right next to you, perfectly disguised in a crisp suit and a warm smile.
Part 1. The real office predator. Hiding in plain sight. Part 2. The illusion of perfection. Meet Alex.
So we call these individuals corporate psychopaths. They are absolute masters of psychological manipulation who thrive in boardrooms rather than dark alleys. To really see this in action, let's look at our case study. We'll call him Alex. On day one, Alex is just a powerhouse. He leverages this intense, superficial charm and extreme confidence, basically presenting himself as a brilliant, totally unrivaled talent. The overwhelming consensus around the office? Wow, what a guy.
But here's the catch. What you're seeing? It's purely a mask. This entire persona has been so carefully constructed right before the real calculating game begins. You see, the corporate psychopath uses this incredible charisma not to build genuine relationships, but as a mechanism to lower your defenses. They want you to trust them completely, because trust is the currency they absolutely need to fund their manipulation.
Part 3. The psychology of manipulation. Adding friction.
Once Alex establishes that initial trust, the fake smile drops and the facade shifts into this hidden aggressive friction. To achieve dominance, he deploys a truly toxic psychological tool known as triangulation. Basically, this is where a person subtly feeds false or skewed information to different parties. They turn colleagues against each other, all while the manipulator, Alex, remains looking completely neutral.
Here is exactly how this dark strategy plays out in real life. First, Alex plays the empathetic friend, right? He gets in close and unlocks your deep-seated insecurities. Next, he weaponizes that exact information, whispering contradictory lies to shatter team trust. And honestly, the most brilliant twisted part, as the team completely falls into dysfunction, upper management looks down and sees Alex as the only stable, reliable employee left standing. But oh, it gets significantly worse. The absolute climax of this callousness happens when a quiet, hardworking junior employee creates this highly profitable project framework. It's a massive win for the whole department. Seeing the value in this, Alex just swoops in and ruthlessly pitches the entire framework to the boss as his own original idea, literally stealing 100% of the credit without even batting an eye.
Naturally, the junior employee confronts Alex about it, and boom, this triggers Alex's next devastating tool, gaslighting. Alex ruthlessly twists facts and completely denies reality, warping the junior employee's perspective until they actually start to question their own memory. This psychological warfare is so intense, the junior employee eventually just quits from severe burnout.
So here is the absolutely crucial point. After completely destroying someone's career, stealing their intellectual property, and shattering their mental peace, does Alex feel even a tiny shred of remorse? Does he pull them aside and offer a private apology?
The answer is zero guilt, not even a flinch. Corporate psychopaths completely lack the capacity for empathy that normal humans possess. Instead of remorse, Alex simply rationalizes the abuse. He tells himself and everyone else that the junior employee was just too weak for the industry. To Alex, people aren't human beings with feelings and lives. They are literally just tools to be used for his advancement and then totally discarded the moment their utility expires.
Part 4. The inevitable downfall. The fatal flaw.
At this point, Alex probably seems unstoppable, right? He has the boss fooled and promotions are just rolling in. But corporate psychopaths share one massive fatal flaw: chronic boredom. The manipulation itself is what excites them. Once Alex actually gets his promotion, the thrill just vanishes. He desperately needs a new dopamine rush to feel alive.
To get that intense rush back, he begins taking massive, impulsive risks. We aren't just talking about office politics anymore. This now impacts the company's bottom line. Alex starts playing dangerously with the budget, making reckless, high-stakes decisions without any proper analysis. And predictably, This impulsive behavior eventually backfires, causing the entire department to take a massive, undeniable financial hit.
So the damage is done, the numbers are deep in the red, and management is demanding answers. When the real-world consequences of his reckless behavior finally arrive, we have to ask the ultimate question. Does the corporate psychopath finally stand up and take responsibility for the disaster they caused?
Absolutely not. Accountability is literally kryptonite to the corporate psychopath. Instead, he smoothly shifts all the blame outward. He'll say it was unpredictable market conditions, it was the fault of external vendors, or, most devastatingly, it was the supposed incompetence of the very team he intentionally destabilized months prior. He spins this entire narrative where he is somehow the victim of everyone else's failures.
Part 5. Decoding the Psychopath. The Hare Checklist.
To truly understand the mechanics of this destruction, we can look at the clinical reality, the Hare Psychopathy Checklist. Alex's behavior maps perfectly onto its 4 core dimensions. First, interpersonal, shown through his pathological lying and grandiose self-worth. Affective, highlighted by his absolute zero empathy. Lifestyle, defined by that impulsive need for thrills. And finally, antisocial, proven by his willingness to destroy boundaries purely for personal gain.
Now, before you start diagnosing your entire department, it is really crucial to remember that human behavior exists on a spectrum. Not every toxic boss and not every manipulative coworker is a clinical psychopath. Making that official determination requires a rigorous psychiatric evaluation by a medical professional. However, recognizing these specific patterns, the superficial charm, the triangulation, the gaslighting, and the deflection of blame, it gives you a massive advantage. It empowers you to protect your mental health and navigate office politics with your eyes wide open.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, lingering thought to reflect on. Look back at your past jobs, or, hey, maybe even your current one. Have you already encountered an Alex hiding behind a warm, charismatic smile? Understanding these psychological truths is your absolute best defense to ensure you never become their next target.